Oh my gosh, it's time for Ninja Steel.
Super, super, super,
I don't really care, so Ninja Steel.
super, super, super.
The stupid website didn't even have it, so whatever. The good news is that, well, it's on 8 o'clock. Apparently, Rugrats was a week thing or some kind of thing, and it's back at 8 o'clock, and stupid website that was a jerk. This time was a jerk and didn't even have the episode on there. Ninja Steel.
Super, super, super.
Let's get started with the show. Ninja Steel. All right, so this episode 4, making waves. So we're at the beach. I was like, we're at the park, you're at the beach. Oh man, they have so many places. Like, I never realized how many places that they go around. Guess this is what happens when you go to review. It's like, I didn't really notice that much. So anyways, at the beach, they have a fishing competition. Oh, cool. And apparently we got Gordon's fisherman. Dude, it's been a long time since we had one of those freaking commercials. The God Fisherman. Oh, no wonder. He apparently is in New Zealand. Well, anyways, so it turns out that for some reason, this actual event is to catch the legendary catch, which is Bruiser. And I'm like, wait, so you're telling me that to win the trophy, you have to catch Bruiser? And it's like, well, then does that mean that freaking damn trophy is old as frick? It's like you have to have a fishing tournament where it's like, oh, the biggest catch wins, and if you get Bruiser, you'll have a super big trophy. It's like that makes much more sense, writers. It's like, yeah, have a normal trophy for the biggest catch, but if you catch Bruiser, you get this super ultra trophy. That makes so much better sense. But of course, sadly, like someone's like, cake. Did someone say cake? You said trophy. Oh God, here's Victor and Monty, of course. It's like he said trophy. Oh boy. Well, anyways, the Rangers, actually, we get to see Hayley's dad for the first time, and apparently his name is Aaron. So, yeah, we get to see her dad for the first time, and apparently he makes drones. Well, technically, he made a drone, and the drone has a net cannon, too. So, anyways, Calvin and Preston put in water. Apparently, this episode, Calvin and Preston are the only ones who can touch the drone for some reason. I don't know. And then the controller, the RC control, it's pretty cool. The fact that it has a screen down at the bottom and it shows what it actually sees in the radar. Pretty cool. And it turns out that her dad is a marine biologist. And it found something. He used the net, and it got shocked because, well, I guess it was electronic. Me personally, I thought, oh, it's Ninja Steel. And no, it's not Ninja Steel. And the good news is that, well, kind of good news is that they don't have to dive in there and get it. It just surfaced all by itself with damages. Well, at least it actually can float. That's the good news. So yeah, after one cutaway, we get Preston and Calvin having to get it. Yeah, they retrieve it from the water. It's like, yeah, only they get to touch it for some reason. And apparently, diving drone, blah de blah. And Sarah's mom shows up out of nowhere. I'm like, oh, well, isn't that good? It's like, yeah, she's a tech person, so I guess that's a great idea, right? Well, actually, I'm not sure. Yeah, it's weird. I don't understand. He's like, yeah, I don't understand. We'll get to that in a minute. But anyway, something made of metal actually hit it. And well, good news. Like I said, Sarah's mom has came to help. Yay. And then we get the interesting talk of, oh my, handsome man with a handsome drone. It's like, what the frick? It's like, oh, sexy mom with brains. It's like, what the frick? Dating? Oh crap. A date is now just, it's like, man, I wish that's how it goes in real life. I wish it is. It's like, oh, you're handsome. Oh, you're sexy. Date? Okay. It's like, what the freak? And this is where I'm like, okay, so does that mean Hayley's parents are divorced? Yeah, we got to get into this connection because it's like, oh, well, if they didn't mention anything about Hayley's parents, we're okay with that. But sadly, nope. Remember when Hayley tried to run for president or class president, something like that, and Calvin did too. Remember, they said that Hayley's mom is an awesome cook, that she is a good baker, and it's like, oh, Yep, you threw a wrench in that because it's like, oh, well, if you didn't mention her parents before, it's like, oh, well, we can understand that maybe her dad and mom are divorced. But because you mentioned her mom, it's like, okay, then does that mean Hayley lives with her mom and her dad is around? I don't know. That's the weird part. It's like, well, hopefully they're divorced because if they're not divorced, well, we got another thing we got to talk about. So, anyways, the monsters, yeah, we get to go on the ship, and it turns out that a tidal wave to destroy the city. Yeah, it's like, yeah, screw the monster challenger crap. We're just gonna freaking take a tidal wave to destroy the city with a wave inducer. But the wave inducer was actually damaged. Actually, no, it's called a tsunami machine. I prefer wave inducer or tsunami inducer. That sounds more brilliant than, oh, the tsunami machine. Well, anyways, it was damaged, and well, it turns out, nope, we do have a challenger monster. He's down there. So again, we get to Sarah's mom and Hayley's dad, and the Rangers actually found a scrap metal that was inside of it due to the net. Hayley and Sarah actually deals with the awkwardness, and let me just talk a little bit for a second. When it comes to girls, girls can actually deal with it. They can actually deal with it. They're not going to be like, oh, this is weird. They'll be like, oh my gosh, your dad and my mom. Oh man, wow. Yeah, they won't actually do what guys would do, which is guys would be like, oh, dude, that's weird and gross, right? Yeah, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? It's kind of like the parent trap. It's like, dude, look at the parent trap. Those two girls actually connected their parents together, given that technically they were supposed to be together in the first place. I'm just saying girls can deal with it more than boys. So this whole entire scenario technically shows how immature girls are, or at least those two are. So, anyways, they decide to sabotage it. It's like, well, they're not really dealing with the awkwardness, are they? So Hayley's dad apparently is motion sickness, and Sarah's mom does not like exotic cuisine. So they decide to go to their parents and give them the dating tips. And well, of course, Hayley and Sarah decides to spy on them during the freaking date. It's weird though. It's like, why at the park? I mean, this is the point where I'm like, hey, remember, I would say 2 episodes ago, why don't they have a freaking ferry place where there's like, oh, here's a Ferris wheel, here's the usual yo-yo swing. It's like, yeah, why couldn't they have that? And that's what they're gonna be. They're gonna be there enjoying the dock and enjoying that freaking thing. And then when it comes to Sarah's mom, here's the grossness. He actually brought him himself. As for him, instead of the playground, really the playground? Instead, they go into the slingshot thing, and it's like, yeah, there's motion sickness right there. Or the tornado one. Oh my gosh, that would be cool to do the tornado one. So instead, no, it's the playground. Pretty weird for parents to be at the playground without their kids. And your kids are teenagers. Weird. Anyways, at the base, Mick and the Rangers are putting the scraps together, and they find out it's a Galaxy Warriors logo. That's what caught in the net. So they have to go back to the beach. And while they go back to the beach, Sarah and Hayley actually meet up with them. They witness the monster with minions fixing the machine. Bodana shows up for 1 second and then disappears. It's like, oh well, there you go. There's your Bodana. And the Rangers hear the plan out, and of course, well, I do have to admit now, hearing so many times how it's like, oh, they repeat what we already see. It's like, oh, I see what you did there. They did do that. Oh my gosh, that's a few seconds wasted. So they confront the monster and the minions, and when they morph, did you hear it? Yeah, they revamped the Ranger tune. Go go Power Rangers. It's like, yes, they decided to throw that in there. I'm like, what? It's like, what are you guys saying so long secretly in code or something? Well, anyways, they morph, they fight, and I do have to admit, Brody gave a nice kick. That was awesome. Sad when it comes to battles, the kick is the thing. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. It's like, that shouldn't be what is going on here. It's like, oh man, the fights could actually be a lot better, but thanks to stupid idiots, technically stupid parents out there, the fighting got toned down, which sucks. It's like, yeah, it sucks. My gosh. Well, anyways, they gun them. Yeah, they gun the freaking monsters. The monster hit, yeah, the head monster, the early monster, he heads into the water. They mentioned again, here's the part where it's like, oh, we already know what's going on here. They mentioned the problem, and they're like, oh, we got to use the drone. And it's like, uh-oh, Sarah Haley's plan to split up the parents worked, and it gets stupider. And it's like, my gosh, man, girl's supposed to be smarter, and then you're gonna get something very stupid in a minute. So we get back to Sarah. I mean, Victor and Monty. Don't we wish it would have just been Sarah and Hayley just talking, be like, "Oh, dude, what the fuck do we do?" But anyways, they have Victor and Monty, and Monty created a lure, and Victor he caught Bruiser for some crazy reason. Yeah, he was able to get him because jokes crap. So, anyways, we go back to Mick, and Mick throws the drone away and says that, oh, yeah, Haley's dad says to trash it. He can't do it without Sarah's mom. He can only build, but not program, or vice versa. I forgot which one did which. I think technically Sarah's mom is good with building. So, hopefully, it was building, and he is the only one who does programs. If that's how he does, good. If it's reversed, and it's like, well, that doesn't make sense. Well, anyways, Sarah and Hayley confesses, and then it's like, wait. Here's where it shows that Sarah and Hayley are both idiots. You don't know why you need them for the drone. You had no idea that you needed them for the drone. Yeah, that comment right there is like, are we sure they're girls? Because girls are supposed to be smarter than that. Yeah, that's complete stupid right there. So guess what? Mick has to deliver the lesson of the day, Mick style. Yep, Mick must likely be super happy. He's very, very happy to do the lesson of the day. Chances are he's very, very ecstatic. He's like, oh, here's my cue. The lesson of the day is. So, anyways, they decide to have them, yeah, they're going to try to get the parents back together. The two, and they actually decide to invite the two to the base. The Rangers in Ranger form, they're morphed, ask for their help. What? Okay, sure. So Sarah almost spilled the beans. Of course, it's the funny fashion. Always the fashion of where it's like, oh, cocky Superman. So yeah, there we go again. And other parents decide to do it, and the parents actually apologize to each other, and then realize that their kids actually were, oh, it is awkward. Oh, they might have actually sabotaged their date. So the drone is now working, and they go back to the beach. The monster is there. Calvin and Preston tries to handle the drone again, put it in the water. They get blasted by the monster. The monster charges at them. Levi and Brody actually defends them. The other two, yeah, this is kind of a weird toss up. It's like, okay, the other two who are, they're fighting. Actually, no. So it turns out that Brody and Levi are the only ones that needs to fight the monsters. The others are like, okay, well, we'll place the drone in the water, and it takes two people to manual to freaking do the controls. It's like, no, only one person need the controls. One of you need to go over there and help Brody and Levi. I mean, at least you'll make quick work. It'll be quicker. Yeah, so oops, Hayley lost the remote. And the freaking tsunami inducer is activated. Sarah now gets the remote now, and the others fight and defend. And the tsunami's created. The drone found it. They use the net cannon. The machine is being pulled up now by the drone. The other Rangers defeat the monsters. Well, actually, technically, it was Brody and Levi just defeated the monster. And then Levi decided to take a photo out of nowhere. It's like, what? You would figure that when it comes to, oh, I need to get my burger camera, and he takes a picture, it's like, yeah, that should have happened last week, the episode before, the third episode, because, well, technically the girl's there. It would have been cool. It's like, yeah, he took a picture of the girl, and then at the end of the episode, you'll see Levi just go in there and just deleting the freaking photo. Something cool. That would have been just something cool to do. Anyways, the machine is destroyed. The monster is big now, and he has eye beams. And well, for some reason, Mick creates a new star. He had no real reason to create one, but here we go for some reason. And we got the Sub Surfer Zord star. and apparently attached itself to the drone. Like I said, I knew it. I didn't mention it because I didn't, but I was like, that drone looks kind of like the freaking Sub-Zurfer Zord. Not to mention, just like how Sarah's freaking hoverboard is like, the hoverboard looks like her Zord too. It's like, what are the odds? So, anyways, sadly, Brody gave us an epic again. It's like, why? Why? We need more seconds, you idiot. And you're wasting the seconds. Stop. So the monster actually paddles to the Zord. The Zord reveals his ninja Zord form. Levi actually claims it, even though technically, when it comes to this episode, which, yeah, you have this episode is completely what the frick, because it just is. Right now, it's a twofer, I guess, because Sarah and Hayley. So technically, Sarah and Hayley should have both hopped on the Zord, and they both were doing it together. Technically, the if the footage actually would have worked, but sadly, no, the footage didn't work. So you have Levi out of nowhere saying, "I'll take the command of the Zord," even though, yeah, I know, because in the real footage, in the original footage, technically is him. Technically, should be a freaking episode about him. Technically. So, anyways, the Megazord was summoned, Buzzsaw Saber. Oh, no. Of course, it changed into the Ultra Star Bazooka. Yeah, so I do have to admit, though, having the freaking bazooka is kind of stupid in a way. It is kind of stupid. I would have wished that maybe you guys could have done was very simple. For Levi's Zord, you should have gave him that. So at least you'll have one for each ranger, even though that means in the super form, uh, you just want money, don't you? But anyways, the rangers win, and then after that we see the parents are mingling again, the rangers are with them, and Sarah and Hayley admits what they did. The parents knew, of course. That's just rehashing. Victor caught Bruiser apparently, but no, it's actually Monty in a fish suit. And then we have the Gorton's fisherman being like, "Oh, well, I'm a pirate now. I'm going to take you down with my sword. Eat my sword." And that's how it ends. Again with with Victor and Monty. I know I'm going to still touch upon this, but they could have done better. Oh my gosh. They could have done so much better with Victor and Monty. There's a video already made. But anyways, in this case, what I would tell them is that, hey, what you would do is basically have Victor and Monty see that, oh crap, there's a monster right over there at the beach. And then they'll go to the monster and be like, "Hey, monster." One of them films, and most likely Monty's has to be the one who goes to the monster. It's like, "Hey, monster." Oh my gosh, eat spray. Just used to repelling on him. The monster would be like, "Oh my gosh, what the yeah, that would be cool." And maybe at this point, because, they can't really get the footage, that means that in this case, what will happen is Victor got the footage, but Bakudobot shows up and he's like, "Oh my god, what the So he runs and yeah, sadly, his camera's left and smash. There you go. His footage has been, again, it's another attempt failed. That's how it would go. But of course, no, you decide to keep him in season one, Broken Skull. Counterfeit Broken Skull. But as for the episode itself, it was okay. Yeah, they did a decent job, I suppose. I mean, again, you still have this messed up part of where it's like, okay, so Sarah's dad is out of the picture. He most likely a deadbeat, kind of a deadbeat, or just the fact of, well, Sarah's mom is not pretty no more. He left. They really need to actually tell us what happened to the parents. It's like, freaking damn. It's like, yeah, unless it really matters in this case, it's like, okay, so you guys aren't married, right? She's not married anymore? Could she be widowed? It's like, it matters now. As for Hayley's parents, it does matter too. It's like, yeah, so we know about Hayley's mom. Didn't get to see her yet. She wasn't casted as we know of right now. But Hayley's dad did show up, and it's kind of like, so they're divorced, right? Because if they're not divorced, well, you just created a triangle and you basically just told kids, "Hey, kids, it's okay if you cheat on your wife." It's okay if you cheat on your wife if it's for the good of the world or some kind of bull crap or good for the city. It's like, no, no. You really need to clear that crap up. Screw the lesson of the day. You need to clear that up because, oh my gosh, what the heck? What the major heck had just happened here? Anyways, thank you for watching and stay tuned for another episode review of Ninja Steel. Not even called Super Ninja Steel either, because look what Nickelodeon does. Nickelodeon just says, "Now we're back to Power Rangers Ninja Steel." It's like, wow, wow, you guys suck.